Welcome to the Science of Fiction HFY Galaxy Tales. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a new story from HFY Galaxy Tales, where humanity always finds a way. The Laughing War Council The Galactic War Council gathered inside the Crystal Dome. High above the red clouds of planet Zarnok, it was a round room filled with powerful alien leaders from different worlds. Their eyes were on the floating screen. In the middle, showing the new enemy, Earth. General Dravuk of the Drunari Empire stood up. His thick armor shined, and his long black teeth showed when he laughed. "This is Earth's army," he said loudly, pointing at the screen. "Look at them. So small, like bugs." The others looked at the tiny machines on the screen. There were about 50 of them, standing in rows. They were short, strange-looking metal suits, thin legs, round bodies, and large heads. Some were not even as tall as a Drunari child. Commander Vexla from the cold planet Tren joined in. "They are calling it a special unit, but it looks like trash." More laughter echoed in the room. Alien leaders clapped, smiled, and made jokes. They were preparing to attack Earth. For years, Earth had stayed quiet. Now suddenly, humans had shown up in the war with these ridiculous tiny soldiers. Only one alien in the room was not laughing. Admiral Trell from the moon of Vidros. He had fought humans before. He knew their history. He sat still, staring at the screen with narrow eyes. "Zoom in," he said. "What?" General Dravuk laughed. "You want to see their toy faces?" Terrell didn't answer. He simply waved his hand, and the image zoomed closer. One of the tiny soldiers turned its head. It moved quickly, sharply, like a living creature. Everyone stopped laughing. "What was that?" Commander Vexla said. "Not a drone," Trell whispered. "That thing has reaction speed." Zoom again. The image zoomed further until the front panel of the machine became visible. Inside the glass, just for 1 second, they saw a face. It was a human. A young woman, calm, focused, eyes glowing slightly. She was inside the suit, controlling it directly with her mind. Then the screen glitched, and the image cut to black. Silence filled the room. No one said humans were inside. Vexla said quietly. General Dravuk's voice turned cold. "So? These aren't machines, these are piloted suits. They're called Aunt units," Trell said. "Tiny outside, deadly inside. Each one is linked to a human brain using something called neural sync. They move as fast as thought." The room remained still. "They're only 50, said one alien. "What can 50 humans do?" Trell stood slowly. His voice was soft but dangerous. "Humans never fight with numbers. They fight with purpose. 50 is more than enough, if they know where to hit." The other leaders looked at the screen again, now dark. No one laughed now. Suddenly, a message appeared. Earth's broadcast to the galaxy. "We are not here to beg. We are not here to hide. We are here to finish this. One target, one chance. Don't follow us, just watch." Commander Alara, Ant Unit Alpha. General Dravuk clenched his fists. "So, they're coming. They're already here," said Trell. A red alarm began flashing in the war dome. One of the guards ran in, panicking. "Sirs, an unknown group of microsuits just landed near the outer defense zone." "How close?" Dravuk growled. The guard swallowed. "They're inside the walls." Gasps filled the chamber. Trell looked around at the council. "You laughed at the tiny army, but you forgot who built it. You forgot what humans really are." "Monsters," said Vexla. "No," said Trell. "Survivors." Outside, the sky turned dark, and from the shadows, the human ant units began to move. The human core awakens inside the small command chamber of the stealth ship Hopefire. Commander Ilara sat in silence. Her eyes were closed, but her mind was fully awake. Around her, the other 49 human pilots were locked into their ant units, ready to launch. "Neural sync complete," said the AI voice softly. Ilara opened her eyes. The world around her changed. No longer did she feel her human body. Now, she was the machine. Her arms felt lighter, her legs stronger. Her thoughts moved faster. Every small signal from her brain flowed through the suit like lightning. She was now a weapon? "Tiny body," she whispered. "Big punch." The launch bay doors opened slowly. Cold air rushed in. The space outside was dark, but just below, lights from the alien war city glowed red. "Ant units," Alara said through the shared link. "You know the mission, no backup, no rescue. We go in, we strike the core, and we leave nothing standing." All ant units, another voice replied. Locked in and ready, Commander, Elara smiled. Then let's make them regret laughing. One by one, the ant units jumped from the ship. From a distance, they looked like sparks falling through the stars. Just 50 metal soldiers, no bigger than a child, diving toward the heart of the enemy. Meanwhile, deep inside the alien city walls, chaos was beginning. The defense towers couldn't lock on. The ant units were too small, too fast, and flew in unpredictable paths. They've breached the outer layer. A guard shouted, "Shoot them down," barked Commander Vexla, now, but it was too late. The first ant unit landed silently on top of a tower. It moved like a shadow, crawling down the wall with magnetic legs. Inside, the pilot, a man named Juno, watched the enemies below. 3 targets. Weak armor, he said calmly. He aimed the microblaster. 1 shot, 2, 3. 3 guards fell before they could even scream. The ant unit moved again, vanishing into the vents. Lara and her team entered the main power section. Inside the alien reactor room, thick energy cables ran like giant snakes across the floor. The room was the heart of the alien city. If this core was destroyed, the entire city would shut down. Setting charges, Elara said. But just then, her sensors blinked red. Enemies incoming. 10 alien soldiers stormed into the room. They were tall, strong, and covered in armor. One laughed as he saw the ant units. "Bugs in our home," he growled. He swung his plasma blade toward Elared, as she jumped, twisting mid-air, and landed. Behind him, with 1 hit to the neck, he collapsed. The aliens weren't ready for this speed. Another ant unit rolled under a table, came up behind 2 aliens, and hit both with energy spikes. The rest of the humans moved as one fast, silent, deadly dot. 10 seconds later, all enemies were down. "Charges placed," said Juno. "Core will go in 60 seconds. "Mission complete," said Elara. "Time to vanish." But as they turned, a giant figure blocked the exit. General Dravuk. He had come himself. His body armor glowed red, and his heavy steps shook the floor. "You think this is over?" he growled. "You already lost," Elara said. He charged forward, swinging a massive weapon. Elara dodged, but the blast hit one of her teammates. Sparks flew. The ant unit crashed into the wall. Elara jumped high, landing on Dravuk's back. She placed a bomb on his armor and kicked off just in time. Boom! The explosion didn't kill him, but it sent him flying. "Retreat!" Elara shouted. The ant units escaped through the tunnels, disappearing into the shadows. Behind them, the alien core began to glow, then exploded. The blast lit up the sky. Towers fell. Power died. The once strong war city collapsed in flames. Far away, on the stealth ship Hopefire, the humans returned one by one. Some were hurt. One didn't return. Elara stood in the center of the room, her suit covered in burn marks. Her face was tired, but her eyes were full of fire. "They laughed at us," she said softly. "Not anymore," someone replied. Asterisk, asterisk. When giants fall, asterisk, the sky above Earth's last space station turned red. The enemy had arrived. The giant alien mothership floated like a black mountain in space, 10 kilometers long, covered in weapons. Its shadow blocked out the stars. Inside the command center of the human station, alarms screamed, lights flashed red. The officers looked up at the screen showing the approaching doom. "It's the Drunari flagship," said one soldier. "General Dravuk's ship. He survived the core attack." Commander Elara stood silently, still wearing her damaged ant unit suit. Her face was calm, but her hands were tight fists. "He won't survive this one," she said. On the enemy ship, General Dravuk stood with fury burning in his eyes. His armor still showed cracks from the last fight. Around him, alien officers watched the human station grow closer on the screen. "Begin charging main cannon," he growled. "We will burn their last hope." One officer raised a trembling hand. "Sir, we detected something." Inside the ship. "What?" "Small signals, very small. Moving fast." Dravuk's eyes widened. "No." Inside the mothership, through narrow pipes and vents, the ant units moved. They had attached themselves to the ship earlier, hidden in the wreckage of a false drone attack. Now they crawled through the monster's body like viruses inside a giant. "Sector 4 clear," whispered Juno. "Engineering deck in sight," Elara replied. "We hit the reactor from inside." They reached the central chamber, a massive glowing orb surrounded by energy pillars and force fields. Alien engineers worked all around. Unaware that death was already there, Elara made a small hand signal. 3 ant units jumped down from the ceiling. 5 seconds later, the engineers were down. The humans moved fast, placing charges on the energy conduits. Final phase, Elara said. Once the charges blow, the ship will lose control. But just then a heavy crash shook the chamber. General Dravuk had arrived. This time, he wasn't alone. He brought 6 elite guardstall, armored beasts with energy axes. I told you, little bugs, Dravuk snarled. You don't win. You're standing inside a bomb, Elara said calmly. You already lost. He rushed toward her. The room exploded with chaos. Juno jumped on one of the guards, stabbing into its neck joint with a pulse blade. Sparks flew. Another ant unit tackled 2 enemies, distracting them while a teammate set the final detonator. Elara faced Dravuk again. He was fast, stronger than before. He hit her square in the chest. Her suit cracked. She flew across the room and slammed into the wall. Pain shot through her body. But she stood up again. You don't know when to die, Dravuk shouted. Neither do we, she said, charging back. She slid under his legs, dropped a sticky bomb on his back, and rolled away. Boom. He roared in pain, falling to one knee. Detonators active. Juno called out. Time to leave, Elara said. Now. The ant units vanished again, running through maintenance shafts toward the outer wall. Behind them, the core chamber began to shake. On the bridge, alien officers screamed. The reactor's melting. We're losing control. Eject the core. But it was too late. The heart of the mighty ship exploded from within. Fire tore through the metal corridors. Energy surges melted the control decks. Explosions ripped open the hull. From Earth's station, people watched as the largest warship in the galaxy broke apart in the sky. Piece by piece, the monster fell. A deep silence followed. Then, loud cheers. Back on the human stealth ship Hopefire, Elara and her team sat quietly. The lights were dim. Only 43 had returned. They had lost some of their best, but they had won. The galaxy had mocked them, laughed at their size, ignored their strength. Now they knew a message was sent from Earth to every corner of space. We were small, but we were ready. We were few, but we were human. If you bring war to us, we will not run. We will not beg. We will rise. This was your final warning. Commander Elara Ant Unit Alpha. From that day forward, no alien species ever laughed at humans again, because they had learned the hard way. Even giants fall when humans fight from the inside.